Hello! Today we are going to be making crepe paper flowers. These ones we wanted to look like carnations, and what we're going to do at the end is connect them together so that they create one stem at the very end. This one was made with 3 pieces of crepe paper. These ones were each made with 2 pieces of crepe paper. Today we're going to be making the 2 pieces, but I just wanted to show the difference in the size and the fluff. So what you need is a couple pieces of crepe paper. I have cut these down already from a larger piece. These ones are about 2.5 inches wide by 4. You could make them different sizes, and depending on the size, it will give you a different size flower. So you also will need some floral wire. This kind is covered in some paper, which makes it a little bit easier to deal with and also makes it look more like a stem. We need to find the end. So first we're going to start off by cutting some pieces of this because we're going to be making 2 different flowers. So we want probably about 8 inches. You could do more or less depending on your comfortability. We're going to be cutting 2 pieces of this to use. Since we've already cut all of this, we're ready to start right away. So all you need to do is start out with a couple pieces, layer them on top of each other, and then the next step is really just to carefully scrunch and push the piece together, all stacked up. Once you're done with that, you'll grab it in the middle and then take your piece of wire, and you can do it in the middle or a little bit higher, wherever you really feel comfortable. Try to center it as much as possible. Then you're going to pull that top piece over a couple times, tightly if possible. And if you need to kind of move it around, you can. Then you'll take that excess right here and twist it down. This makes the stem a little bit more durable, sturdy. And then, now's the fun part, you get to make it look like a flower. So you start off by carefully separating the 2 pieces. This one's going to be a pretty small one. So depending on the width, this one again is about 2.5 inches wide. You can get different sizes. So this one is a 2.5. This one is probably about 4 inches wide, and it makes it a little bit bigger. So you can play with it. You can make them all different sizes if you would like. If you're cutting them in batches, you can make one batch smaller and one batch larger. It really just depends on what you want and how you're going to be putting them, if you're going to be putting them in a bouquet or using them individually. If you're using them individually, you might want a more full, larger flower. If you're going to be putting them together, like I'm going to be putting these ones all together, then you might want them to be a little bit smaller. So once you have it separated like this, you can go ahead and kind of push all of it up so that it puts all of the petals toward the top, and you can really scrunch it together and make it look like a flower. Move it around as you like. Once you're happy with it, you can move on. I'm going to do another one right here. Scrunch. I'm just really moving these fingers and pushing with my thumb. So it's like a motion like this. Sorry if that's awkward. Then again, you grab it in the center. You wrap it. Gonna wrap this one a little bit closer to the middle so that I can have a sturdier stem. And then wrap it all the way down. That will give it the ability to stand on its own. Again, just spread all of the pieces out. It's easier said than done sometimes because they get really stuck. But just be gentle, but also crepe paper is fairly resilient, so if you do rip it or mess it up, it's likely that nobody's going to notice. So don't give up on it. I think people of any age can do this. It does require a little bit of dexterity, but you can always help people who need a little bit of extra help. There we go, we push it all up together and we can twist and pull and really fluff those petals up. Make them feel more real. And no flower is perfectly symmetrical or anything like that, so we don't even really need to make it look like it is. Okay, now we're going to combine these. Because this one has a sturdier stem up top than this one, I'm going to connect this one to the other one. And how I'm going to do that is just wrap the stems around each other to create an even sturdier stem. If you have metal showing, you can always take a piece of brown or green crepe paper and glue it over top if you don't want that to be showing, or if you're concerned about somebody poking themselves. It's quite simple. And this is really how long it takes. I'm not speeding anything up or anything. So now you have 2 blooms on one piece, and you could even combine them. You could add different ones, different colors, because not all flowers are even the same color. I can add this one on here. That'll look pretty. And then I might go back and cover this piece of metal up, or put even a little dot of hot glue over top of it. But the beauty of this is that we really don't need any special materials other than these. We don't need glue or anything. You could even wrap this back up to cover some of those metal pieces, if that works out. But I will probably put a little bit of crepe paper or tape over top of that. So there we go. You can put that into just a little bud vase, or attach it to a card, or even put it into an actual floral bouquet. Enjoy!